So, Perrin, you escaped the city against all odds, away from the Violet King and everything you've ever known. Everything is so cold outside the city. Different. Liberating. You freeze. Something is crawling up your back. Is it him or you caught? The panic is paralyzing. No, 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 no. It can't be. It can't be, can it? You look behind you. It's nothing. Just the wind. The sigh lifts the weight of fear off your chest. And then you hear it. His call. The Violet King. And then we fade to black. We go a year into the future. You, Perrin, are on the front lines of a soon to be assault on Asterlund. You don't feel like you. You feel like you're just there, existing. You don't have any control over your body, but you're aware, aware of what you're about to do, aware of where you're going. You're fighting it. You're so desperately trying to fight it. Would you like to introduce your character?
Um, Currently, I seem humanoid-ish. Um, my visage is reminiscent of a human, but one of the main things is my hair's a little bit longer, but it also seems to be stark white as well. Um, but at the tail ends of my long hair, you could probably see almost like what starts as natural flowing regular hair, it ends in what seems to be like almost like crystal, almost um, glassy, um, prickled with like shards. I guess you could say like small shards of prismatic, uh, crystalline substance. Um, on my eyes seem glassy, almost faded. It's really difficult to make out my pupils. And even on my face, there seems to be almost like a half circle around my right eye that seems to be made out of almost a transparent kind of material that seems to kind of bend the light around it, which, which kind of makes it feel like I'm more of a construct than a person. Um, I seem to be wearing um, these kind of like white but also black robes a little bit, and my right arm seems pretty human. Seems pretty like a regular human's right arm, but my left hand, um, I seem to have some cloth wrapped around it, as if uh, I don't want my left arm being exposed too much. But what is exposed are my fingers, and my fingers, instead of just regular human digits, it's crystalline. It's like crystalline appendages, and I am just here, stuck in a ride that I never asked to be on. And right now, whatever happens, happens.
It's also worth pointing out that some of your features are exaggerated. The mutation that is so prevalent in Crahzuans, that is innate, is also affecting you. Some of your limbs are elongated, sharper. Used to kill, to maim, to slaughter. You look around. You can't tell if everybody's feeling the same way you are or you're unique. But you do know one thing: you're moving upon the Ashen Ramparts on the border of Asterlund. You intend to do damage. We switch to the perspective of Versailles, who's seeing his comrades, his fellow Asterians, prepare for the Battle of Head. They believe they received some intelligence from scouts that an attack was imminent. Versailles, would you like to introduce your character? What would you be doing at this point?
Versailles is a venerator from the House Versailles. He's relatively young in his early 20s. He's tall, but not especially bulky. He's more lean and corded. He's very disciplined, like pulled in kind of feeling about him. He looks like he's uptight and constantly focused. As he's standing there with the men, he always looks like he's being evaluated by someone else. So his back is straight, his chin is level, his hands are resting near his weapon. He has long black hair, like most Asterians have black hair. He has burning red eyes that are also the mark of an Asterian, and his eyes looking out on the battlefield that's about to be populated and depopulated. Seem to just be measuring distance and posture and threat and just calculating. And he's here to support the rank and file soldiers like most venerators do.
You know that you have an advantage. At least you think you do. The Ashen Ramparts have been quite effective at deterring previous attacks due to its anti magic capabilities. You know that there were previous Mirrormancers who tried to actually infiltrate Osterland, but were stuck in the wall due to the anti magic capabilities. Um, there are archers up at the top of the walls. These walls are about 40 feet high, made out of volcanic rock. Around you, you can also smell sulfur. You're right on the border, which means that there are volcanoes nearby. You can hear the flow of lava. You're listening around intently as ranks start to form. Looks like one of your commanding officers has something to say. What do you do?
I'll form up with the rest of the men, whatever ones that he's been assigned to. Right now, Versailles is a errant venerator who's basically going around and questing, and like usual, when the call goes out that something major is going to happen, venerators go where they're needed. And so he comes here, he's assigned to watch over and fight alongside and lead a group of rank and file soldiers. And so he will go with them and obviously listen to what has to be said.
So as you form up, and everybody else forms up almost with this like uncanny ability. Like they've done this, like they've practiced this hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of times. Everybody looks to the commanding officers for guidance, for what they should do next, for some sort of inspiring speech, albeit maybe perhaps in Asterian terms, a short one. They share one mind. You each carry your own. That is our strength. You chose this line. You chose this cause. Stand with me now for your houses. Cheers erupt from various pockets of the line, some focused, others celebrating return to battle, a return to honor, the ability, the opportunity to create stories of their own. Up above the forming battlefield, the camera moves up, starts panning on an individual flying up above, inspecting, looking. Fallon, would you like to introduce your character?
My character's name is Caleb. He is a bat-like creature with, I'd say, features leaning towards more human than bat. He's called a Nocturne. He is from an order that believes that history should be documented. It should be uncovered. Everything needs to be known to everyone. He is a strong advocate for magic. He uh, doesn't really care for those who would attempt to restrict such a beautiful part of nature. And I would say that as right now, with these two, I guess you would say armies about to collide on the battlefield. Would you say that I'm right there at this place, right here in this battlefield?
Yeah, you're flying above,
Yes.
essentially taking notes on what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
From your view, from your vantage point, these armies are pretty close to each other, forming up. It looks like very shortly that there's a battle
About to
that's
come.
going to ensue, and then based kind of on your count, I mean, it looks like there's a few thousand people in each opposing army, maybe a little more Crahzuans.
Yeah, that's
They're
exactly
definitely not as they're definitely not as heavily armed as the Asterians, but they look like they could do some damage as well.
and that's exactly what I would be writing in my book. You know, someone has to document this war. Someone has to know how deep these scars of war and bloodshed go. So that's his duty. And yeah, what happens
And
happens.
and this would be your, I would say, maybe third time taking a look at these clashes that have been happening along the border. These things have happened probably half a dozen times so far, and within kind of increasingly becoming more common as the relationship between Crahzu and Osterlund seems to be deteriorating. But something feels just different about this battle. Something, can't tell if it's something in the air. Maybe it's something that's kind of prickling on those magic sensations, that innate ability that you have within you. But something just doesn't quite feel right.
Ooh, that's that's pretty terrifying. But he is a chronoseer. He does have a staff with an hourglass on it. Um, and that's about it for my character so far.
Do you look at that hourglass?
Do I look at it right
Like,
before
yeah.
the battle?
Is it like sand or is it more of like a clock type of situation?
Mm, I want to say
Is
it's
it like
on
something that's
like a
ticking? Or,
spinning, yeah, like a spinning hourglass. With one side, one face with an hourglass, one side with a clock, I guess.
and the clock would be ticking like clockwise, just yeah.
Right.
Mhm. Um, what you notice as you look at it, it stops and pauses just for a moment, and then keeps ticking.
What is really happening here? What could cause this? and now I want to look around and see um, exactly, like, do I see anything else in the skies around these armies? Do I see any distortions?
Yeah, we can do that. Go ahead and make your first instinct roll, the first roll of the campaign.
Oh,
Woo!
great. Oh, great.
Let's go.
Nice.
Oh,
That's not a good sign.
that's a great sign for how this is gonna go.
So
Not great.
I gained a fear.
Oh.
So Fallon or Caleb rolled a 10 with fear. It's really hard to gauge. This seems you've in terms of like what you've cataloged so far as part of your like pursuit of knowledge is you've kind of been on the outskirts of some ruins. You typically don't go in them because they're dangerous and they require a decent amount of coin to like create parties, but you do manage to kind of like slide your way into some like archaeological teams, right? um this kind of has the feeling like you're in one of those places, like a rune that's about to be present.
Oh, a place of importance that people will look back
Mhm.
on. Great. This is gonna be awful. Too many lives will be lost here. For nothing.
And as you say that, the camera moves, shifts back to within the borders of Asterlund, where we see two individuals making their way to the Ashen Ramparts on a mission. Clade, would you like to introduce your character?
Sure. From what you can distinguish from her, Clade is a 5'4" elf with the short black hair pushed behind her shoulders. She wears a metal faceplate at all times that covers everything but her red eyes. Eyes that have seen much and seem to host a certain type of hunger and ambition. She has a lean build and wears mostly black or brown leather, with a black coat over to cover the Inquisitor's emblem etched into her shoulder plate and her weapons. No skin shows except for her ears poking out from her hair and the faceplate. She looks a little tense, but ready for anything.
And then beside you, accompany you on your mission, which doesn't seem to be related to the events that are transpiring outside of the gates, is Severick. Would you like to introduce your character?
Alongside them is a 6'1" human male, slender frame, shoulder length black hair, tied kind of messy sort of bun in the back, but some strands hang loose in front of his face as he strides with a very purposeful pace, red eyes kind of narrowed down, as almost like he's in deep thought, as something kind of aches at the back of his mind.
Mm-hmm. As you guys are walking closer to the Ashen Ramparts, Severick, something feels different to you. Something feels familiar. This energy, this day, just feels different. It feels familiar. Your eyes, with these piercing red eyes, Asterian eyes, turn blue for just a moment. Clade, you can make an instinct roll to see if you notice this.
I'm so doing that.
Everybody's rolling.
Yo.
Give
Yo.
me that fear!
Stop
Yo.
giving
We're not
him all
doing
that
great.
fear.
We are not doing great.
This just isn't the best.
Can I make
Come
an
on, fellas, let's do better.
opposing deceive presence roll to try to pass it off?
Sure.
Or would this be kind of just like a unbeknownst to happen
Um,
to myself?
Actually, I don't think that you would notice this.
Okay.
Clade would not see the eyes like directly, but would notice like just like a really quick color shift, like something was just off, but wouldn't necessarily get the full view just because of the way you guys are walking. She would have to kind of like lean forward and like look in kind of a weird, suspicious way, which is not indicative of kind of how she would handle that normally. So she'd be like, "Huh, that's weird," and something to like, frame in her mind, but wouldn't see it directly.
Okay.
You can do with that as you roll, Clade.
She's not gonna say anything. She's gonna assume it's a trick of the light or something or other.
Okay. So we move the camera away from the fields of Asterlund back to the Ashen ramparts outside the country. Everybody is formed up. This battlefield is beginning to form. Crahzuans are starting to rush forward. You're starting to rush forward, Perrin. Wildly out of control, not yourself. You're getting closer and closer and closer as you charge and go into battle. You clash. Both forces clash. You're fighting. The spotlight goes to Versailles. What are you doing in this giant crowd of bodies and fighting?
Versailles will be leading the way with his men, like usual. The Venerators, especially the ones in heavy armor, go in the front. They fight with sword and with gun. Right now, Versailles is using his rifle and firing it over and over and over again into the front line of the Crahzuans.
Okay, make an attack
Taking
roll.
down as many of them as he can. Why stop the trend?
Oh my god.
You raise up your rifle, you fire. The bullet flies out of the barrel, strikes a flesh-bound scion right through the head. They collapse. But then you notice it. Right beside you, fellow comrades. A vial splashes on top of them. You can see what looks like metamorphosis begin to take hold of your brothers and sisters. A tentacle sprouting. The pain, tremendous. They collapse on the ground. Perrin, what are you doing?
I am just doing what I'm programmed to do. I'm going to try my best to oh boy. Oh no, I don't have the resources to do that. I'm just gonna use my shard to see if I can just see if I can hurt any Venerators in my path.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
I'm not. Why stop the trend?
Guys.
Thank you, guys. You're being so kind.
Guys.
That
This is
hits.
so
How do you want to
bad.
kill a Venerator?
The moment's going by so fast. I try not to think too much of it. I just just weave an incoming blade, immediately counterattack with with just a quick slash towards a weak point, a weak chink in the armor.
Okay. As you do that, you see an ancestral spirit fly from over the battlefield. Abomination! And slams into the ground beside you. I need you to make an agility reaction roll. Click agility, click a reaction at the top. No, at the top. Very top. Yep.
Oh, I forgot you could see my thing. Okay.
Yep. There's a little reaction checkbox. So you click agility. Yep. And then at the very top there, right below the header, is a reaction roll. You click that, and you just roll. Yep.
Ooh.
How do you want to dodge this?
I might as well try to show this off. Are any of the surrounding Venerators' armor reflective?
They are, yes. All of them, actually.
I imagine you said it was an ancestral spirit, like not an actual Venerator doing this. Like
that is correct. Yep.
I would say that as soon as he yells "Abomination" and he thinks he's having this momentous moment happen, trying to strike me down, all he sees is just my form shift a little bit as the light around me bends, as I zip right into the armor of one of his fellow, or like one of the Venerators that's on the ground, and he catches nothing.
What would you like to do while you're inside that armor? Would you like to shatter it? Would you like to hurt them?
Crush them.
I don't want to.
You want to hurt them, don't you, Baron?
I really don't. I
Do
know.
it!
Shatter.
You just see the armor for this Venerator, where he's teleporting to erupt, shatter. The pieces of it, just in this like cacophony of just in spray of armor, just litters the battlefield. Some of these shards go up into his neck, killing him instantly as he collapses. Where do you teleport to? Are you out of the reflective surface? Do you teleport to another on the ground?
Second verse, same as the first. I'm going to try to teleport to another nearby reflective surface and see if I can recreate what I just did, or at least do something to a similar degree.
Make a instinct roll. Not a reaction roll, just a regular instinct roll.
May I spend a hope to use unnaturally special experiment?
You may.
Okay.
You would just check that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Experiences,
It's up here. Okay, gotcha.
As you go to do that, as you go to teleport, make sure you lower your hope as well.
It didn't automatically do it? Okay.
Yep, didn't automatically do it. Just make sure you're keeping tabs on that. It just goes for everybody. As you go to do that, you're ready to do damage. You notice something shimmers in the air. This is the anti-magic abilities of these Venerators. As you materialize back in air on the battlefield, one of them is going to take a swing at you.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't believe 5 hits.
No, that does not
So
hit.
they miss as you recover. Camera pans back to Versailles. What are you doing?
I would be looking for whatever threw that vial that started mutating my men.
You would see it. You would see a hooded figure nearby. Looks like they're preparing another vial to throw.
You'd aim down the sights of his rifle, kind of like zeroing in his scope, and then try to take a shot directly into his hooded face.
Okay. Make an attack roll. That misses. They turn and look at you as you're readying your rifle and you fire. Oh. Wide left. They do have a vial prepared with your name on it. I need you to make an agility reaction roll.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, is that a reaction roll or a check?
It is our. Oh, that's a check. It needs to be a reaction roll.
It says reaction roll.
Does it? Oh, it does. Never mind. Yep, it's at the top there. So with an 11.
Oh.
One of your comrades in your squad next to you notices that the vial's going in your direction. They dive in front of you. It hits their face. You can hear the screams as they begin to morph and shift. What do you do?
I assume that I know that they're can't really be saved after this point.
You don't know for sure, but it's an educated guess that they're in dire straits at this point.
I will use my witch mark on the enemy that is throwing those cursed vials and take another shot.
Okay, with advantage. Okay, a 24. So that easily succeeds. Roll damage.
And it would be +1 from the witch mark.
And you were aiming for their head?
Yes.
How do you want to kill them?
As they're like about to throw another vial, I want the bullet to go through and shatter the vial as it pierces through and then lodges right into their face behind the vial, like mid-throw.
Very nice.
And then I would probably take out my ceremonial sidearm and shoot the man in front of me who saved my life.
Okay. You do. In the body, the agony ceases. Around you is still chaos. People on horseback, rifles firing, swords swinging. People teleporting, magic, fire, lightning. We pan the camera up to the skies where Callum is. What are you doing as you're seeing this unfold, Callum? If you are here. Perhaps
Found
you are
here.
muted.
Balan.
Balan, are you here?
My mic was muted.
Okay.
So Caleb, as soon as the armies collided, he would be flying above them. I do want to remain out of sight, but I must record all of this. I must record every detail. These people will be forgotten once their bodies are buried. Everything must be recorded. And then he'll go through just looking at everyone, trying to remember as much as he can about this battle.
Okay. In order to remain hidden, I'm going to need you to make a finesse check.
Great. Since I've done this before, well, no, it's fine. Yes!
18 with hope.
Finally!
Everybody is very concerned about what's happening on the ground. You remain out of sight without much issue.
Excellent. Then I shall record every little thing, like every special armament that was used, like the potion that caused mutations, the anti-magic of the Venerators. You know, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a shame that all of these people.
And that it is. As the battle below keeps raging, by the dozens people are dying. This is vicious fighting. One side elitely trained, another side not caring about what happens to them, fighting with a brutality that hasn't been seen for a long time. Crahzu's getting strangely desperate with their tactics. We go back inside the walls of Asterlund. Both Clade and Severick can hear the battles raging outside the gates. What are you guys doing as you hear this transpiring?
Where exactly are we headed?
Towards the Ascent Ramparts, towards the kind of area of this. So you're maybe less than a mile away. I mean, obviously protected by the ramparts, right? The conflict is existing on the other side of this wall. But you two weren't necessarily privy to what was happening outside of the gates.
Are we at the ramparts, or are we almost to them?
You're almost to them.
Okay.
But you can certainly hear the conflict transpiring from that distance.
Sounds like a fierce battle.
Circle nod. He's going to try to kind of focus in on the chaos of the combat and see if he can kind of determine how the tide of it is going.
Okay. Make an instinct check.
Just making sure everything looks good. Hey, what's one more to the dally?
Oh my god.
See, this is.
It's fine.
He's gonna.
You try to
unleash all
focus.
12. Just bring a meteor from the sky.
You try to focus, Severick, but between all the different voices shouting, the cannons firing, the obvious mutations and horrible sounds, that squishing and bodily functions and everything, all mixed together in just this awful mixture of sound. It's so hard to gauge what's going on. But things start to slow down for you. Slow down to a crawl. As you're focusing, something is reaching out to you. At first, it's kind of like a little scratch against your brain. A reminder. Something trying to pick a memory from you. And then pain. Sharp pain. Something is here. Something familiar. Your eyes shine brightly blue. Enough where Clade would notice.
What?
And that-
What's happening?
I imagine he's like gripping the side of his face and the side of
Mhm.
his head,
Mm-hmm.
leaning against a nearby wall.
There wouldn't be much of a wall because you're kind of in a plains area,
Oh, okay.
but
it's
you
open
could
there.
definitely take
yeah.
a knee. Definitely take a knee.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he's definitely.
She would
He-
she would probably crouch down and be like, "What? What's happening?"
He'll raise his hand. Just a moment, please. And he's gonna try to regain control.
after a moment, the sensation fades. But you realize something. Something else is outside the gates. But you don't know what.
We need to quicken our pace.
Your eyes. What was that?
Was there something peculiar?
They were a different color.
And is that of any importance right now?
I guess not.
Then we table it and move forward. He's gonna get up, start striding with a bit quicker of a pace, almost close to a jog. He needs to figure out what's out there.
Okay.
She would follow and keep up.
As we're making our way over, Severick would take his book off his belt and start kind of thumbing through the pages, looking at different sigils and kind of pre-prepping for the eventual. Conscripted.
Conscripted memories. You notice that as the chaos is unfolding, and officers are shouting orders. They're not consistent. The lines on both of these armies are starting to fail. Chaos is completely taking over this battlefield. So we move back onto the battlefield itself. Versailles, what are you doing? As you notice things start to collapse around you.
By collapse, do you mean that like just that the both lines are being overrun, or that some of the Asterians are routing and like being pushed back, or
Some are being pushed back on both sides. You're getting officers on both sides of the conflict shouting opposing orders, so there's confusion amongst the ranks. And when confusion is taking hold, it's just chaos, right? There's no sense of order.
He would look for a priority target among the Crahzuans because he needs to make a demonstration of faith, basically, amongst the men to try to pull the people around him back into fighting.
Okay. You would notice a larger hulking target, about 8 feet tall, that has just been completely taken over by metamorphosis. You can see long tendrils outside of their hands are just essentially turning into like one long blade that instead of that could reach just general melee range, could reach even further than that, just swiping across the battlefield, killing people.
He'll pull up his rifle, say a little internal prayer to his ancestors, and take a shot.
Go ahead and roll with advantage. That does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Only 2 more, then he can't get any more fear. We win at that point.
It's gonna be fine, yeah, at that point.
Yeah, it'll be fine after that, yeah.
I will also, I think at the same time here, because I wanted to do these sort of together, I will use my Oathbound Strike on this enemy. So hopefully suppressing any kind of magical effects that are powering it or making it, more dangerous. And for the rank and file men around Versailles, they will see a apparition of a ghostly black-clad Venerator Knight laying their hands over the weapon as he takes aim and fires, and there's a bright divine light as it happens. And hopefully seeing a demonstration of their beliefs and hope will keep them from routing so easily and give them a little bit more let's see how this goes. And then it should be +2 bonus damage, so that should be 9.
Okay. So that deals 1 tier of damage on this enemy, which strikes, does strike in center mass, and you do see for a moment the bullet kind of exit glowing, streaking across the battlefield, almost leaving this angelic trail. Goes and it hits the target, and you can see the center mass of the Crahzuan just start to glow. And you can see that this glaive that's been stitched onto their arm as part of this metamorphosis starts to recede, and they kind of go from being this 8 feet tall behemoth to what their normal size is as this magical ability starts to retract, and you can see them bleeding, confused, looking around. What else would you like to do?
He'll use the opportunity to shout at some of the men around him. If we lose the wall today, it's your families tomorrow. And he'll fire again if I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, you can fire again, and then a Venerator will also fire next to you. Which hits. That certainly hits. You see the Venerator next to you, hearing these words as you rally the group around you. Fire, also with an ancestral shot from their house, as you just let out this this kind of rapid fire of shots from your squad as they just pepper this Crahzuan. And they appear to tank them, at least initially, until they take a few steps and collapse, leaving a pool of blood on the battlefield.
Unfortunately, as good as it is to see another disgusting Crahzuan monstrosity fall on the battlefield. There's 100 more behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Versailles just reloads, gives a knowing look to the Venerator that shot alongside him, and continues firing and fighting.
Go ahead and gain a hope.
Let's go.
Also, at this point, I want everybody on this battlefield, as there's been shifting and weaving and stress just piling upon, you're starting to feel the physical toll of this fight as it wears on. I want everybody to mark who's on the battlefield. This doesn't include our character above or the people still within the borders of Asterlund, so this would be for Versailles and Perrin. I want you to mark 2 stress on your character. And I will remove a fear. Perrin, we shift back to you. What are you doing? As it seems like, at least on your side of the conflict, that some of these Asterians are starting to retreat, that you're getting a bit of a push on this line.
As much as I hate to do it, I am going to just let my muscles control themselves, and I'm going to
Would you
I'm
like to
imagining-
fight it? Would you like to try to fight it?
after the major shatter I just did, I would like to attempt to fight it. Yes, I am going to basically just kind of like. It seems like I'm still striking, I imagine, and still like charging, but like I seem almost catatonic as I do it, and I'm probably just gonna like, there on the battlefield, I'm probably just gonna like internally start going. Oh, hold on. Don't make me do it! Stop! Stop!
Versailles, do you want to roll to see if you can hear that throughout the chatter of the battlefield?
That would be instinct, correct?
Yes.
Would this stand out enough in all this din as something very magical and uncanny and just strange enough that I would get my experience bonus for detecting weirdness, basically?
Yes.
I think to do that, I spend a hope, don't I, to use
That
my
is correct.
experience to add +2.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I would like to ask this as well. For if we manage to get a roll with primary hope, do we get a hope? Is that how
yeah,
it
you
works?
gain a
Yep.
hope. It automatically.
okay,
It should
so-
automatically.
have the
It should
plus-
automatically.
Oh, okay.
do it.
So it is automatically doing it for me because when I rolled with
If-
hope, I spent a hope and got back the hope. I just wanted to make that.
Yeah, so
Yep.
if you have the DH plus, I think it does it automatically.
That is
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You would hear that, Versailles, as it kind of like ripples through the battlefield.
Everything is becoming so openly chaotic and just falling to pieces, and this is also the exact kind of scenario where glory is earned for oneself and for one's family. And so Versailles will stop for a very brief moment and grab his medallion of oath with his offhand and say a little prayer to himself, and there'll be a flicker of a ghostly image of one of his many storied ancestors in the background behind him, almost like a visual glitch. And use this, or once per session, I can invoke a Rite of Cleansing on myself, and against all magic users, summon entities or cursed creatures, which these certainly seem like to me, I will gain advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I will start wading through the battlefield toward the direction of where I heard that cry. What do I see?
How would you like to describe that, Perrin? What does Versailles see?
You would probably see a Crahzuan, almost like a mockery of a humanoid, or anything that could be considered humanoid. Much more lean, kind of like spindly. He seems to have like kind of like a mane of hair, similar to how, not necessarily a lion, but like kind of like this like long hair going by the back. But it's covered in these kind of like crystalline spikes and edges, as it seems to have its muscles trembling, as it's still almost like it's still trying to do swings, but it's almost like it seems like some of the more prismatic surfaces on its body are almost starting to crack, and it's getting more obvious as you get closer that it's almost like this particular Crahzuan is resisting and almost breaking its own limbs, because it's directly conflicting with its motor controls.
As you reach deep inside of you, Perrin, and you're trying to fight this, make an instinct roll.
I would like to spend a hope for special experiment.
Yep. You notice that the mutation is starting to seep back into your veins. You're beginning to get a bit more control. Feeling like yourself. And then everything hits you at once, what you've done. This battle. Like a train just getting hit so hard. Emotionally, physically, as strength starts to leave you. Versailles would be seeing this take place as well.
As Versailles walks up and is witnessing this very strange sight, and I can see, as he said, that he's like seems to be internally struggling, almost like it almost seems like his skeleton is trying to jump out of his body. He's fighting himself so much. Versailles will take on a stress to use Divine Mandate and basically just order him to kneel, to like stop.
Present save or be compelled to obey a single word command.
And save just refers to a reaction roll, so you can make a presence reaction roll. If you would like to, you could also do it with disadvantage if you want to try to fail this on purpose, or you could just fail it outright if you're trying to resist this.
Okay. Lev, does it say what I need to roll over on your end?
It would be I would come up with the DC. In this case, I would say because you succeeded initially, it'd probably be a 10.
I'll willingly give myself disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You hear a voice inside you. I don't think so, Baron.
I don't want to do this. Don't make me.
You saying that aloud, or is it entirely within your head?
I feel like at this point, now that the mutation is seeping in, and he appears more human-esque, you would hear that out loud. If you're focusing on me, because the chaos is, it can get a little distracting.
Looks like Caleb wants to do something.
Yes, if I could, while I'm flying over, could I observe the scene and see him fail, and then immediately rewind the last 6 seconds to give him his disadvantage again? Reroll.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Hell
Oh,
yes.
God.
And I am hidden, so I want to make sure that nobody can see me as I point my staff down at this poor young soul. And then just my staff glows a bit and then rewinds. The clock ticks back.
Don't forget, you were given the option to automatically fail if you
I was going to automatically fail with this redo.
Well, now you have the option to.
Yeah, okay. With this redo, what does it look like when you rewind time, by the way? Like, does it look like a certain thing? Or like...
I would say that nobody would notice that there was a rewind but me. Probably the one initiating the rewind. I don't know if Clear would agree with that. Maybe there are some stronger people that could notice. But
I think given how badass this ability is as a, I believe it's your hope feature, right?
yes.
I would say that I'll allow you to become, or stay hidden, but I would say like visually, it would almost be like, it would almost look like from like a venerator's perspective that like something angelic is coming out of the clouds. But it's like visually, it's kind of got that almost clockwork motif. You can hear ticking, and because this is affecting specifically Versailles and Perrin, they would feel that shift back, that rewind.
Mm-hmm. So, with this rewind, do I take my hope back away again? Because would it undo the roll I just did?
It would.
It
would. Yeah. It would undo
right.
the roll. You get your hope back.
No, I get my hope taken away because I got the hope.
Or, yes, that's yeah. And then you can choose to automatically fail this.
With this redo, I will automatically fail.
The way the divine mandate kind of happens is like, as you're kind of looking over and you receive the command, you see sort of like a silhouette, like like almost staticky, ghostly flash of a much larger, more imposing knightly figure, and you sort of hear this almost reverberating command to kneel.
After the constant, just commanding, almost sadistic sounding voice that's been reverberating in the back of my brain for the past God knows how long for this fight, this battle, hearing Versailles' voice instead, even though it's basically almost like another puppet master taking care of the strings, it feels almost like a breath of fresh air at this point. I'll take anything else at this point, and I will relax, and I'll probably just follow the command and kneel. I'm not kneeling like vehemently or like in awe or anything. I'm just kneeling, but also like almost in a position of like surrender, if that makes sense.
Tired.
Yeah, just like defeated.
Yep.
Empty. Versailles will walk up and close that last little bit of distance, and complete chaos is still everywhere around, but it's like we have our own little bubble in moment in time together. And he shoulders his rifle and points it kind of dead at your chest, and he gives his head almost a little tilt of confusion. And your kind doesn't usually talk.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have no choice. I have no choice. If
You probably see like tear marks at this point.
There's really no way to take him prisoner in the middle of the battle, and there's no telling how long his self-control is going to last. That is keeping him docile, and instead of having him teleporting around murdering my countrymen. So, as interesting as he is, his mutations quite obvious, his struggle plain. I think that Versailles would ready himself to just put him out of his misery.
As you ready yourself, something begins to happen on the battlefield. You notice a shift. You look around briefly, Versailles and Perrin, as you notice that the trees around you, around this area, volcanic soil, seems to be absorbing the blood, the essence, even an ancestral spirit or two. This is highly, highly unusual. As you both look at each other, look back at what's happening, there's a sense of confusion. And then, across the battlefield, you see it. Someone who's not Crahzuan and not Asterian. Someone much, much different. A hooded figure in tattered robes. And you recognize part of their faces suffering. It's almost metallic, like half of their face has been petrified. You both recognize this as Shroud sickness. Time slows to a crawl. You notice that the volcano nearby begins to bubble up. People try to take swings. And it's almost like the swings are phasing through this entity, this thing, this being. Seems like they're mouthing something. Can't get a sense of what that might be. It's out of distance, out of range. And there's this sudden swell of energy. And then the first thing you see, the light, the heat, as a blast erupts from them. And everything goes black. So, this blast went off. Effectively, the people on the battlefield saw this flash of light, felt this tremendous amount of heat, and then everything went black as they passed out. We are unaware of what their fate is. Callum, with a shockwave that literally went through. And this was literally like a tactical nuke going off. The shockwave would have knocked you out of the skies. You go tumbling down. You would catch some trees on your way down to soften the blow a little bit, but you're going to take 2 damage.
Ow.
And then inside the Ashen Ramparts, both Clade and Severick would see the gate, essentially the gate and the entrance, one of the entrances to the Ashen Ramparts, almost like somebody put their hands in and then just ripped it open, like somebody just ripped a rib cage wide open. That is what has happened to the wall. And you guys would have been knocked back as well from the blast. And you guys will both take 1 damage.
Me and
I'm talking for Severick and
Gotcha.
Clade.
Okay.
As we go back to the battlefield, it is quiet, eerily quiet. Perrin,
yes.
you awaken, surrounded by flickering volcanic lenses of dead venerators. No sign of sunlight, only the smell of death and the blood leaking out and hitting your face and arms from their plate armor. You're pinned, unable to move, buried, alive for now. You can feel the mutations start to seep back into your veins. The pain is tremendous as your arms and legs start to pop and shift back into place. It never gets easier. The tendrils retract, and then the crushing pressure as your strength starts to subside. The bodies are asking you to join them, but the Violet King won't allow it. There's too much to be done. Or is there? The call starts to subside. You're going to die here. Or at least you think so. What do you do?
I'm completely submerged.
You're
Just-
buried alive under Crahzuan and Asterian bodies.
Are there any Asterian? Is there any like Asterian plate mail next to me?
There would be, yes.
Gather what little strength I have left, and with my connection to that reflective realm of nightmares, and I'll see if I can use my teleport feature to at least give myself some breathing room, and try to do so as slowly as possible to not warrant any attention to where I am.
Okay, and so is your intent here to kind of pick your spots and try to teleport from like reflective service to like inch your way out of this pile, essentially?
Yeah, basically like Frogger my way to a more safe position.
Okay. With your ability, you can do that with ease. No need to roll for this.
Gotcha.
You come out of this pile, and not only does it feel like there was a blast here, but that the volcano itself also erupted at points. You can see trails of lava not too far away. This volcanic ash that is like littered the line is like this like very dark kind of gray haze that is like in the air. You feel like you're almost choking on it, and you're struggling to breathe. You see hundreds thousands of bodies littered. Some of them deformed, some of them missing limbs, armors caved in from the blast, um, and they are not moving at all. There's also this like red haze that's like in the air. Um, what would you like to do?
Red haze that's in the air.
It's likely from the volcano nearby.
Gotcha. Okay. Just bodies as far as I can see.
Yeah, I mean your visibility would be pretty bad right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you probably see maybe 10 feet in front of you, but given the frequency of bodies and the quietness, especially in comparison to the conflict that was just transpiring, it is, I mean, eerily quiet. The only thing that you really hear is the nearby sound of like lava.
Okay. Well, first things first. I'm going to try to figure out where the lava is coming from, and even though it might be far away, I'm going to do my best to like move away from it.
Yeah, I mean it's nearby, but it's certainly these would be following essentially channels. The Asterians are really good at kind of like channeling the lava flow into certain places.
Okay.
So while this volcano like erupted as a result of this magic, the Asterians are prepared for this. So it's being managed, and it looks like it's, while it's hot and not the best place to be right now, it is manageable.
Okay. Based on the map, could you ping as to where I? Okay, thank you. Okay.
So you guys would be here,
Thank you.
here, here, here.
Okay. I don't suppose there's a way to de-stress or
Not without a rest.
not without a rest. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Am I able to determine which way is to the wall? Am I able to see the wall from here?
No, your visibility is very bad. The one thing I will say is you feel no connection to the Violet King. You feel completely clear. In fact, this is a sensation that you have not felt for the entirety of your life. It's like whatever happened in this blast severed that connection.
Okay. Can I see a path ahead of me?
You're stepping over a lot of bodies to get there. And I mean, path in the lowest sense of the word, because again, the blast of this magical blast is pretty much like cleared roads, flattened everything. Trees nearby are like tilted or completely down. You would notice though that some of this residual magical energy seems to be siphoning off energy from the dead.
Siphoning off energy from the dead? Excuse me?
Like the soil, the trees, nature itself.
Okay. First thing I will do before I start walking, I am going to use a mirror mask. I'll put it in chat. And I am going to give myself the visage of including clothing, equipment, and scent. Okay. I'm going to give myself the visage of a young, early 20s. Well, I still default I am in my early 20s. I forgot to mention that. But early 20s venerator with battle damaged armor.
That's cool. Yeah, okay.
And I will just start walking, start stepping over bodies, and because I'm in the territory of what is supposed to be enemy numero uno, and
Mhm.
that's not something I'm super chilled with. So I might as well just stay at least a couple steps ahead to some degree, and I'll
Okay.
just start walking. See if I can come across anyone who's still alive, awake, or anyone who's unconscious.
Okay. Versailles. You wake up. Your head is ringing. It's painful. You look down. Your vision is blurred. Everything feels heavy. You're tilting back and forth. You can't steady yourself. You see the blood on your hands. You look further down and see the cut on your arms. The bodies. All the bodies in front of you. Your people, Astarians, butchered like animals. Brothers and sisters. Hundreds of dead Crahzuans. Abominations. You can smell it. The smell of magic. Something happened here. And it wasn't who you think it was. Crahzu couldn't have done this. Could they? No. This was something else.
Do I still have my equipment?
You do. It's damaged, but I would mark I would mark 2 armor slots to account for this damage.
Do you want the same for me?
Mark a hit point for yourself.
Fuck.
Venerators are tankier.
Man. Could I have used an armor slot to negate that HP?
Okay. It's direct damage, buddy.
He'll shoulder his weapons, and obviously he's just looking around at the complete carnage. All the bodies are so twisted together that it's almost hard to even tell which ones are Astarian and which ones are Crahzuan. As I start to just look around and just sort of see if there's anyone else alive, if there's any command structure, if I can hear any orders being shouted. Like you said, it's incredibly quiet.
Mhm.
Do I happen to see a Perrin changing himself to look like a venerator?
It's very hazy out here, I will say.
It is. I don't know how close we are.
I would make an instinct check with disadvantage, and the DC is going to be quite high. It'll be a 20.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Can I spend a hope to use my unnatural discernment?
You may, yeah.
Nope. Oh my god.
How close
with
am
the
I?
fear,
How,
with the fear too. Jesus.
how
Oh
close
God.
am I to
Only a few more left.
Versailles? Would you say?
we'll get to you. You're nearby, but again, with the haze in the air, and there's still a lack of sound. You're probably not going to notice anything visually. Oh,
Oh no,
but you
I
do
was
have
just gonna
echolocation.
use something. Yeah, I was just gonna use something, but if I can't, it's fine.
You could probably use echolocation to like hear some of the footsteps, if that's what you're.
Actually, I'd be I can look at everything within 100 feet.
Within 100 feet, yes, you would hear movement.
Oh, I was just gonna ask
People
how
getting
close I
up.
was because if he
Yeah.
was close enough, I was gonna do this and let him re-roll that.
Um, you're there. You guys are technically not allies
Oh, I understand. That makes sense.
yet. So yeah.
Do I
But you,
see? Go ahead.
I would say you would hear activity happening. With a 4, you don't hear anything. Or sorry, you hear some rustling, but you don't visually see anything. And also with that 4, you this is a phenomenon that has been kind of mentioned off and on in Asterlund, but is exceedingly rare. You kind of get up, you steady yourself, you start to look around. You notice that one of the moments of the blast starts to play out in front of you. You can see what looks like an ancestral spirit trying to shield a fellow venerator from the blast as they both get vaporized. You can hear the audible sounds, the screams, the desperation, all playing out in real time like an echo.
I
Mark
should be
1
dead.
stress.
Seeing this, he says, I should be dead. And he kind of like looks himself over again, almost wondering if he is dead. And do I see any survivors of any kind? Is there anyone crying out or saying anything, or is it just a field of corpses?
Make an instinct check. You won't have to do this if you're looking nearby.
I am. I'm just checking around me.
Around you, you're not seeing, and this is, 10, maybe for stretching like 15 feet in front of you. You're not seeing any movement from any of the bodies. You are beginning to hear some rustles of sound nearby, um, from kind of two directions as they're starting to kind of. I'm assuming, Callum, you're moving in the direction of where you heard the sound.
So when Calum gets up, yes. I was gonna see if anybody was around. The first thing that I was gonna do would be to try to make like a little medic center. Like, do I see anybody that's wounded? Do I see anybody moving around? Can I carry somebody
You
to like
hear
an open
movement
area?
that you hear movement that you could move towards, but you're not visually seeing anybody that's moving quite yet. So if
Okay.
you go closer, kind of to get through the ash and the low visibility, but kind of navigate by the sound, you could arrive to something. I mean, you're not sure if it's a person, but generally, based on your experience using your echolocation, you think it's a safe bet that that's probably somebody hurt, especially with their gait and their walk.
Yeah, sure. Then I would, I would I'd run towards this person, being able to accurately tell all the different corpses on the ground with my echolocation, like just the shape of them. I'll just step around them and I'll run. I'm a medic. Are you injured? I can help to some degree. Are you okay? And as I arrive to this person, what am I gonna see when I arrive?
Uh, which direction are you going to go? In the direction of Versailles or go in the direction of Perrin? Because you're getting two sets of sounds,
Oh,
which are nearby.
Do you want to
But
flip for it?
probably. Yeah, let's flip for it. Why not? Because I really, yeah. How do I see slash R? Does slash R work?
E2.
You have to decide
Alright.
which is who. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm
So-
two.
One for Versailles and two for Perrin.
Okay, there you go.
Alright, there we go. So I'll run to Perrin there.
you would also, Versailles, hear some running that's happening as well.
I'm definitely gonna close in on that then. Any kind of sound that I'm hearing. I mean, I'm in a graveyard right now.
Yeah, you definitely would have heard me say medic.
Yeah, I would definitely muster toward that because it's not at all something that the Asterians wouldn't say in this kind of situation. So for all he knows, it's an Asterian medic mustering and trying to, save lives.
For sure.
So he would take off in that direction.
Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if I hear Caleb yelling, I'm a medic, I'm going to try and step away from where I hear that, because I'm not trying to interact with too many people at the moment.
Okay. Would you
Or at
like
least-
to hide, or
I am going to I'm gonna try my best to hide. See if I can see whoever's coming by before they see me.
okay? Make a finesse roll.
Gotcha. No. In this economy, I'm not gonna spend any hope. It's fine. I will give you more fear though, because I'm just generous like that.
Nice.
With a 10, there's not outside of the visibility. There's not a ton of good places to hide. You kind of like haphazardly make yourself like a place behind one of the bodies, or a couple, kind of a group of bodies on the ground.
Okay.
It's like everything got clear cut, almost like Tunguska or something, right? Like just everything that was standing
Mhm.
got knocked over.
Mm-hmm. And after a few moments, Caleb and Versailles would arrive on the scene. Versailles, you would see what looks like a bat humanoid running through the ash in your direction.
He's not going to freak out and raise his weapon or anything. Versailles is a trained soldier and of Asteria, and he knows that you can obviously see that he's not horrifically mutated or growing tentacles or has anything crazy happening. So he's not going to assume that he's an enemy soldier or anything. And he's going to obviously, run up to him and... Who are you with? Are you one of ours?
I'm for anyone that's injured. All these lives have meaning. I will help anyone. But for now, I'm on your side.
He just kind of lets out like a kind of like a like he doesn't agree with almost anything that you just said exactly. But if it means finding and saving a few Asterian lives, he's all for it. Would there be any reason why Versailles wouldn't at least like have the kind of general basic knowledge you would expect of the various peoples and races of this world? Like Asterlund is a pretty huge hub of things, and the Asterians aren't like, you know, really against any species or race of people at all. So would he understand that that Calum is a nocturne?
Yeah, you would.
And would probably know that they're really good at hearing and seeing in conditions exactly like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything? Do you hear anyone calling for help?
The only thing that I've heard was you and this other person here. I was going to start a medic tent to try to save who I could, but within so far of a range, I want to say a range of 100 feet, I can't hear anything else but you and him.
Who's him?
Perrin, the other one. I heard the other one.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
heard
don't think
something.
Versailles knows that.
Oh, I don't know.
He didn't hear anything.
Yeah, or the other thing. I heard you and the other thing. I guess I thought he was standing right here. I'm sorry.
Just clarifying. Yep.
He's hidden himself not very well
Mm.
behind some bodies.
There's
So
another thing over here.
I think because it makes sense in character, and because it will be a very weird campaign if you're running all around on your own, Versailles will just start checking some of the bodies and things around this local area and seeing if there is even anything to be done. He's still just kind of confirming in his own mind that it's completely hopeless, and somehow he's the only one in that entire area that he has seen that has survived somehow.
Because I agree with you that it would be very awkward if we just never met. I think for the sake of this, you would probably, and also with how shit my stealth check was, you would, I think you'd probably be able to discern where I am, right, Rob? You probably would.
Yeah, pretty easily. Yep.
Pretty easily. You don't have to qualify it. It's fine. But yeah. But I guess what Versailles would see, instead of the weird prismatic motherfucker, you'd probably see a just a young Asterian kind of like guy, with like armor that appears to be like heavily dented, like the chest plate seems to be heavily dented, and a rifle that happens to be like missing the butt, so it's just like the mechanisms and just like the chamber, and this person would probably see you and go and like kind of like almost like immediately kind of like raise his hands up and go, you're alive.
Yes. So are you, it seems. And he's going to kind of help you up if you're able to stand.
I am able to stand, and I'll accept your help getting up.
Your face is uncovered?
My face is not covered. It's just changed. If that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, are you wearing a venerator helmet, or are you just Are you
No,
unhelmed?
unhelmed at the moment.
I think Versailles would take note that it's a little interesting that a very young venerator like you would have full armor at this point. But he wouldn't immediately be, incredibly suspicious given the circumstances of everything. Versailles himself is not in the full black iron venerator armor and helm and everything like that the more experienced venerators tend to get. He's just wearing a Asterian long coat and a light amount of armor.
Loving the little bits and pieces of lore while you're basically doing detective work on me.
Versailles will wave Callum over to give you a look because Versailles only knows like very basic first aid and triage kind of stuff like that. He isn't a full medic.
Same, brother. I was just looking for a place to gather all the.
Neither am I.
I'm afraid that I'm no more than a mediocre healer. I could attempt to wrap up any wounds, but more than that, I'm afraid that I don't have any type of healing equipment. I was trying to organize a place where people could bring the wounded, but I'm afraid that I don't have more than that.
That's perfectly fine. I can stand, and that's enough for now.
I can help carry you if you would like.
No, that won't be necessary, Mr.
Caleb. And you?
Calum. Peter.
Nice to meet you, Peter. Is he lying?
Immediately clocked.
I would I'd also like to see if that rings like true to me.
Okay.
So
No, my ability says that I cannot be lied to.
oh, put it in chat.
All right.
Oh. Oh man! All right. Oh, whispers in the
Holy
dark,
moly.
Whispers in the dark, you
Holy
mother.
shit.
I believe that's what they call a counterplay.
No, because I have the.
Oh no, you got to make that presence roll now, and you might immediately make him. You have to do it now. You can roll it to glean the hidden truth. You have to do it.
Can I do
Roll presence to glean a hidden truth behind a vague or misleading answer.
No,
on a
Caleb,
10
you have
plus.
to roll it. You have to roll it.
Yeah.
that? And can I use my secrets are meant to be shared if I'm trying to divulge secrets from somebody?
Hey, yo!
You don't have any.
Gagging.
You don't have any hope, buddy.
Oh, no, you're right! You're right!
Yeah,
No, I
fuck.
forgot. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, damn it!
Oh,
Now you have
boy.
hope.
Now I have hope.
Oh. Now, hold on, guys. Now, fellas. Hold
Fellas,
on.
fellas. This boy is cooked.
Man, I love how these abilities are already playing on each other. This is awesome. Okay.
Okay. I was gonna put that in chat.
You can tell me, since I'm the only one that would know, you could let me know.
Okay. I was just gonna say that with Mirror Mask, if I'm directly challenged, it doesn't specify if it's with an ability or anything, but like I could attempt a presence roll to maintain the illusion.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here is first, Callum made his roll on an 18. You would get a hint for myself is there's definitely a facade that's going on here. This person isn't necessarily lining up, and you can't quite put your mark on it, but something is really, really off. You're being challenged. Let's go ahead and make a presence roll. This DC is going to be a little higher. to maintain the illusion.
Okay. I am going to do my presence roll for Mirror Mask, and I'm going to add Insidious Influence for my bonus.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, baby.
Oh, what a roll.
So you maintain the illusion. However, Callum does sense that there is something off.
Deceitful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you injured in any way? Like, are you hurt from the blast? What was that?
I'm not too sure. Only a little scratched up, but just given a day of rest, I believe I should be fine.
That's good to hear. Well, we need to go see if we can find anyone else. Maybe somebody, hopefully, someone else survived. And what
Of
did you
course.
say your name was?
Peter?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He was going to turn
Oh,
to
my bad.
Versailles.
Versailles.
Versailles. Very nice to meet you, though unpleasant circumstances. My name is Caleb.
He kind of just gives a very slight nod of the head. It's not like rude, you know. It's kind of the curt manner that you've come to expect from Asterians in general. Perrin is hurt slightly from the damage of the blast, so I think that Versailles would kind of just offer him like a little support as they start moving along, and he's going to try to kind of guide them both toward the wall, you know, back into full-blown Asterian territory in case there's somehow a counterattack or a second explosion waiting in the wings, because he still, while he feels like he's never seen or heard of such a thing before from the Crahzuans, he has no idea if somehow it is some crazy weapon of theirs. And given their penchant for throwing hordes of mutated citizens at them, he doesn't have an especially high opinion that they wouldn't use their own people to just bait out a response and then blow all of them up. And so he's going to try to usher them away from ground zero and toward Asterlund proper.
Are you trying to give like Peter like some support in the sense like
Yeah, like my shoulder, and kind of put an
So,
arm
shoulder.
around his waist and just kind of like take a little weight off, because his arm is crushed. He seems like he's a little hurt. I mean, he's 1/5 dead, which is more dead than most people.
Peter, do you accept that?
Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'll accept it.
As he kind of puts his arm around you and just takes a little bit of weight off, he'll just sort of ask in a clipped kind of way, your house?
As a former member of the faction that is directly in conflict with Asterlund, do I know enough about Asterian culture to at least have some idea of what a good name of a house would be?
You actually wouldn't.
I would not.
Mm-hmm. Versailles also too, as you're kind of helping support Peter, you would notice like an odd shimmer around them.
He doesn't act or do anything yet.
I will respond with, having trouble recollecting.
It was quite a blast.
Yes. I must have hit my head. Everything is fuzzy at the moment.
The men under you gone.
As far as I could tell, yes.
It's kind of gonna wait and just see if Calum engages him anymore or either of them anymore as they take a little hike toward the wall.
Not at all. In fact, I was already going to, keep my ears, listening for any type of sound. Maybe I can guide us to another set. Like, is there anything around us, or is it just completely and utterly quiet?
It is completely and utterly quiet.
How ominous. I hear nothing around us. It really seems as if everyone's gone.
It's also a bit of a hike to the gate, too, so there's still time to look for survivors.
As we kind of are walking along, do we see any signs of movement or hear anyone?
Make an instinct check.
Do you guys
Because
want to
you're
join in?
Astarian, yeah, because you're Astarian, you would not have to roll this with disadvantage. The others would. Except for
even
Callum,
with-
actually.
yeah,
The
okay.
echolocation would not have to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Would I just auto succeed with echolocation?
No.
No, I would still roll
It is very foggy.
It's really bad out there. 17 with fear. Okay.
He can't get any more, guys. We're fine.
We're fine. We're fine. He is completely fear maxed right now.
Wait, are we gonna have to start owing?
Going to fear debt?
Oh
Fuck.
no.
Fear debt is crazy.
Callum, you would actually start to hear, help me, help. Sounds like a Crahzuan.
I can hear one. This way, he would say as he kind of lifted his wings, stretched them out, and then just flapped off, immediately flying towards that sound. And as he's sitting there, he's going as fast as he can, trying to at least help somebody. What exactly is happening to this guy to make him make these noises? What's happening?
So you rush up to the spot, assuming the others are following.
A little slower, obviously. Yeah.
You would see what looks like a Crahzuan, a fleshbound scion, shifting and weaving between metamorphosis, almost like they're phasing. So you would see like their face normal 1 second, and then it would shift and mutate. Like they're struggling. They're kind of just they're crushed in this pile. It's like half of them are kind of out. They've been slowly trying to like rustle their way out.
Oh my jeez. You poor creature. He'll kind of just sit there, flapping his wings, kind of just shocked by the madness of it all. He, how is he supposed to lift that up?
Are we able to catch up?
Yeah, you would. You would see the same thing you see.
Just this Crahzuan in pain and trap.
Just phasing between metamorphosis and their normal self. you would get a sense of sorrow in their eyes, regret as they look at you, as they plead for help on the last legs of their life.
Versailles will take his sidearm and hand it to Perrin.
I'll take it.
Beautiful.
Oh, love you, motherfucker, you.
That's
Oh,
pretty
my
insane.
God.
only one right thing to do.
This creature would see the gun being transferred over. I can be saved. I can be saved. Saved. Please don't. Please.
What's a good check to hold back tears? I wonder.
You could take a stress to steel yourself. If you
Oh,
don't
you're
want to make
so
a check.
you're so right, bestie. You're so right. I'll mark a stress for that.
To do what?
I'm not gonna say anything. I think I'm marking a stress that way I don't have to roll to like keep the illusion going, I guess. And I even after hearing his pleas or their pleas, I guess, and just aim the gun right to their head and just fire.
The gunshot goes off. And then silence as their body slumps over.
Caleb marks another name in the book.
I'll hand the sidearm back to Versailles.
The shimmer and waver all around him when I was at point blank is a pretty huge tell, along with a few other little things, like the fact that he is quite a bit more verbose than an actual Asterian ever would be. Is that enough for me to just like have a pretty good intuition that he is not as he appears at all?
Yes.
I've dropped enough hints at this point. Yeah.
He's not going to, again, he's not really going to pull away. He's going to take the gun and holster it and just sort of look at you. And, well, at least you're dedicated to playing the part.
I'll kind of look at you a little bit as there's no look of surprise because I feel like at this point I'm at least able to tell that the entire time that we've been walking, you've just been like trying to like test me, and I've just not been. I haven't really been good at deceiving lately with all the experiences that's been happening.
We will go through the wall, and you will be quiet if anyone asks you a question.
I'll just nod.
Stay as you are for as long as you can. And he'll start walking that way, and you notice he's not offering to help you walk anymore.
Fair enough. I'll follow.
And your people, how do they feel about bat-like people like myself?
Is that in character? We hold no ill will towards the many peoples of this world.
Excellent, then. Let's go.
If you observe everything like that, it's just a general lore point. While they're insanely suspicious and effectively xenophobic toward magic users in general, they don't have any problem absorbing basically any race or species of people or visitors into their land. They're perfectly fine with it. It's just sort of and magic users even do come and go. They just, don't do anything openly if you want to leave.
Right. Easy. And then, yeah, I think that with that, he'll go ahead and open his book and he'll start writing down everything that has been done, everything that he's seen, the biggest explosion in his entire lifetime, thousands dead, the execution of a wounded soldier. You know, and he'll just continue on.
As you guys walk closer to the Ashen Ramparts, looking for survivors, we're going to take a moment and shift the focus, the spotlight, back to Clade and her companion, Saravik. You felt the blast. It knocked you off your feet, pushed you back actually about 15 feet. You are quite bruised, but certainly in better shape as the wall absorbed most of the blast. However, while the inside of Osterland is mostly clear, visibility wise, you can see part of the Ascent Rampart ripped apart, ripped open. And then essentially just a volcanic haze past that point. As you get up, shake yourselves off. What are you doing?
Are we like right before the wall, or how far are we from the
Yeah,
wall?
you guys were just getting up to about the entrance. I'd say maybe 200 feet or so, and then you got blasted back. Um, yeah, 15, 20 feet. So you can see things pretty clearly. On your side of the wall, as you kind of look over, it's just like, it's almost like a kind of like a dark gray haze that is just obscuring visibility on the outside of the wall. It's almost like what you would imagine, like the mist looking like, where it's just like a curtain of visibility that's just swallowing the outside of the gate up. And then obviously the gate is also split open. The gate is gone, and then part of the wall is ripped open, like almost outwardly. Like somebody had just grabbed their hands and just pulled it apart.
I got you. Okay. It would probably herself like a once over and give Zevric also like a once over and make sure they're both okay. Such damage. I've never seen a battle take so much of the wall.
And so easily, too. Was there anyone at the top of the ramparts at the time of the blast?
There were archers and other riflemen.
Were there any ejected nearby?
Yeah, certainly. Nobody is up on the wall anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And they would be getting about a 40-foot drop.
I'll head to the closest one and do a quick check on them.
Mhm.
See if they're alive or conscious. Bare minimum breathing.
Dead.
He'll nod and stand up. He'll kind of like flex his wrist a little bit and eject his binding rod from its mount on his forearm into his hand. And he'll palm his book in his other hand, or his other hand. Let us move quickly.
Yes. And she'll rip a locket off of her neck. As she throws it, there's a clockwork mechanism that kind of comes out, and it turns into a dog, a metal engine form dog. And as she joins you, here, let me put that in the chat. As she joins you, she'll command the dog, look for any survivors.
You would notice the dog to start to whimper at the magical residue also that is just caked all over the place.
She'll give it like a little pat. I know, it'll be okay. Go.
And then the dog will go check for survivors. One by one. Dead. 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 Dead.
As we're getting ready to start moving in, can I? How do I phrase this? Can I determine how thickly, if at all, the shroud has kind of permeated this area? Whether if that was because of the blast or if not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, make an instinct check. And
I
do
would
so with
also
advantage.
I would also like to invoke my otherworldly knowledge experience by spending
Okay.
a hope.
Sure.
Do it for me. Cool. Advantage.
Excellent. With a 24. Yes, you would be getting a very strong essence of the shroud. You would actually be able to see, like, visually how the magic is actually interacting with the land.
Mhm.
And it seems like, given the severity of the magic that was cast here, is that as part of this residue, it's taking elements of this land as essentially a way of paying the cost of this. So it's absorbing blood, essences. You even had the unfortunate sight of seeing what looked like a soul being taken and absorbed.
Okay.
This is, you've heard of this. You would, you think you're dealing with a bit of a threshold right now where this world is interacting with that of the shroud plane a little more easily, given what's transpiring here.
I start preemptively stealing myself, getting myself under control and ready in case control is needed.
Okay. Anything else from you two? As you move towards the
I
gate, I'm assuming.
assume. Yeah. Yeah. Probably just looking with how far we can see. See if we can see anybody walking, standing, talking.
You can make an instinct check.
Awesome. Let's go!
Nice.
You see the faintest look of what seems like a silhouette, but you're unsure if your eyes are playing tricks on you. And this would be on the other side of the wall, in that haze.
Clade will look over at you, Sebrick, and kind of, not through words, but through motion, nod her head to the side, as in like, let's go check it out. And she'll walk forward into the mist, past the wall.
I'll follow.
As the rest of the crew, Versailles and Perrin, Callum, make their way towards the gate of the Ashen Ramparts, you do see what looks like an Asterion crawling on the ground. And as you get closer, you realize that their bottom half is bent unnaturally. Looks like the force of the blast hit them there. They're writhing, crawling in agony, looking for any kind of help.
Yeah, Lord.
Help. 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 Please. Brother. Brother, help.
Versailles will obviously pick up his pace and like jog over to him and immediately drop to the ground and see what can be done. Is he a rank and file soldier? Or is he in venerator like garb?
This is a rank and file soldier.
He's not literally missing his lower half. He's just cracked and
It's
bent.
literally like the blast like just fucked up his spine and he's like bent like a pretzel. Like it. To be honest, looking at it, it's like, oh god, I don't know if I can save that. You know, like that's the initial reaction. It's like, oh man, maybe you guys could. It was some medical treatment. And some sort of prolong his life a little bit. He might also be able to use a wheelchair, but he's unlikely to ever be what he was.
Versailles will try to calm him down for a moment and kind of like lock eyes with him, and he doesn't like look away or wince in, you know, the pain of the situation. He just is very present there with him in the moment.
It's gonna.
Do you want to go home in broken flesh, or go home as a story?
Just feel this. You can almost feel his sigh of recognition. He looks up, locking eyes with you. A story.
He'll reach down and sort of fish around for a moment in his uniform to pull out his little medallion that has his name and his family name on it, and he'll take a moment to memorize it. And then after a few seconds have gone by, he'll sort of do a little sign and put his hand on his forehead like a little benediction, and his other hand during that will be taking out his pistol.
Wait.
And he's going to kind of shoot a glare over at Callum.
Forgive me. What is your name? He's talking to the soldier on the ground. He wants to write it in the book.
What is his name?
That's a good question. Orvin.
Orvin?
Orvin. Orven. Orven.
History will remember you, Orvin.
Thank you.
More so than any of our enemies. And then, like, as he says that, he'll deliver a quick coup de grace, just single bullet, like, hopefully, you know, basically under the chin.
And he collapses. Quick. Painless. Mostly.
I thought you were going to give me the gun again.
No. You can execute your own, and I'll do mine.
Ah, got it.
He's anything if not reasonable.
He, you know, Versailles stands up. He doesn't obviously leave with the identification because that would make it harder for our entire side to identify bodies and send them back home where they all need to go. But he's already made a mental note that he will specifically write a letter to this family and tell them how he died bravely in battle to a horrific unknown weapon that no one has ever seen before, and give them a story. And he just keeps walking. There's nothing more to do.
As you walk, you again see what looks like another echo. I'm going to spend a fear for this one.
Oh, baby, a triple.
Oh, a
This-
triple.
This is one of this is the first one of 1, 2, 3, 4,
Just spend
5,
all
6,
12. We can
8,
handle it. We
9,
can
10,
handle
11, 12.
Yeah, Caleb's got this.
it. What? I said we team.
You got a mouse in your pocket? What do you mean we?
You mean you speaking French?
So this is something that you would all see. It's around where you saw that figure. The figure that arrived on the battlefield just prior to this magical calamity that went off. This one is like a memory. A recent memory, one that, given the carnage and everything you're seeing here, you would love to forget. You see a much closer view of this figure standing here. You can see the markings, the veins on their face, their blue, luminescent eyes glowing. You can hear them speaking.
Do I understand it?
You do. And it goes as the following. A regrettable decision, but one that is necessary to preserve the order. You must learn. Then the echo fades. I need you all to mark one stress, except for Clade and Saravik.
Great.
Jesus.
I can get stressed all day. It's fine.
Not me.
It's gonna be fine.
Parent has been feeling. He's 4 out of 6 stress.
I'm only 3 out of 7. We're okay.
Oh.
Actually, can I add one more stress, Rob, for what
4.
I had to do,
Yes,
killing
you
that
may.
soldier?
You may.
Thank you. Even though he remains outwardly composed,
Your nature
that was
does.
not the high point of his day, to say the least.
As
Yeah, that
you
definitely
get,
wasn't fun. Oh, sorry.
would you guys like to comment on what you all collectively saw this too?
Okay.
So
It wasn't the same guy, but it was someone who looked similar.
it was the same figure that you
It
saw
was the
before.
same. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
It was the nuke.
Nukem. Let's see. Actually, no. I'm not, I'm gonna do my best not to say anything because just stay silent at the moment. I'll look confused, but with
Versailles
everything
will
that's happening, yeah.
Versailles will stop and, obviously watch the entire thing play out, and then look over at the two of them, and I know where I was. Where were each of you?
Pretty sure. I'll switch to my regular voice. Not my appearance, but my regular voice. I'll say, I think you already know for me.
His eyes kind of narrow, like you confirmed a suspicion, but then he just, relocks his gaze onto Callum, waiting for him to explain why he's alive and not a twisted wreck of limbs like everyone else.
On why I'm alive?
He asked, "Where were you when it happened?"
I've been documenting this war. It's what my entire league or family's been doing for generations. We've been trying to keep up with history and events. We knew this war was coming. We could almost feel a shift. So I was flying above, trying my best to keep out of sight, marking down every single atrocity that you people committed.
He just looks at you impassively at that response, and you all say so much and so little at the same time. And he kind of like gestures for you both to keep moving toward the wall.
Oh, whenever he says like you people, he meant like both of you guys, like not singling out anybody. Just
Yes, you're both
Yeah,
foreigners.
What do you mean, you people?
You use magic, I kill you.
You're not like I kill you.
Yeah.
Swedish venerator, where did you come from? I've been
dug
here
my
the whole
way.
time.
It hurts to live. Ah.
I ate my way out of the corpse pile.
Oh,
What?
man.
We don't all have fancy mere magic.
Slowly slipping into German.
You know, we're doing our best.
It's all good.
It's a very regional dialect.
Well then, yeah, I would be walking, give my wings a rest, just heading towards the wall. Hopefully, we'll make it there soon.
You guys are close, and at this point, you would see the visual of the ancient rampart ripped open, the gate completely flattened. Osterlund, for the very first time in a long, long while, exposed to outside threats. No people on the gates. One of the more peculiar things, and this would certainly stick out to Versailles, is that you didn't know this, and you're not sure that many people did, but you're noticing as a result of this magical calamity and the effect that it's had on the Ashen Ramparts that this wall isn't just made out of Asterian materials. There's other technology here, especially as you kind of look inside and see the layers peeled away. Some of this seems more advanced, much more technologically advanced than you in your society.
Would I be able to see this too?
You would. Same with Callum.
Yeah, I was gonna say with my entire life being dedicated to like sieges and stuff like that, I would definitely be writing this down.
With your mention of the technology being more advanced than would I be able to recognize any bits and pieces of the tech I see in the wall, or at least that was in the wall?
Make a knowledge check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, knowledge. Okay, here we go.
I believe in you.
Is it okay if okay, well, I'm going to spend a hope no matter what, I think, or at least from what I'm about to ask. Is it okay if I add a special experiment because that entails that I'm very familiar with like Crahzu and stuff?
This is not Crahzuan, so it's not relevant.
Okay. In that case, just do regular then. 15 with hope.
Congratulations. We're getting back on the hope train here.
Woo!
Why are we on the level
fear.
5 hope train?
My hope's almost full.
With a 15, this doesn't look like Asterian tech. This looks closer to what you might expect from Crahzuan tech in terms of like the different materials that are made and how sturdy they look and kind of the way that the pipes and everything are set up, but it's certainly not Crahzuan. This
Okay.
looks like a remnant of like some other civilization.
Okay.
And that this
okay.
existed, and then the Asterians built on top of it.
Oh, okay. So the wall is built on top of this tech, or the wall had this tech inside of it?
There are multiple layers to this wall. As you can see, there's probably 4 separate like instances of this wall with different materials. One of them is very clearly like that is not from anybody here. This does not
Okay.
exist in the world.
Okay.
And then you're getting the sense as you're kind of looking deeper as some of these others might not as well. This could be 4 or 5 civilization worth of tech built into this one space, with the Asterians just being the most recent.
The fuck? Okay. And also just to clarify real quick,
Mhm.
tech's not Crahzuan, but it reminds me of Crahzuan engineering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's this would be something that you're aware of as a mirrormancer, is that oftentimes you interface in the mirror plane with entities to acquire different types of technology. And these seem to be reminiscent of those type of things, but they're clearly not the same, right? They're clearly built different, with different sensibilities, but you're aware that, there are ways to acquire this, but clearly whoever built this is no longer here because there's no record of it.
Gotcha. I'll look towards Versailles to kind of gauge what his reaction is to this.
He seems surprised, but like he's not like pog facing or anything. He just seems surprised for like a moment, and then the time has passed and it's time to keep marching.
Caleb takes a quick moment to see if he can kind of draw a quick sketch of what the interior of the wall would have looked like. Obviously, foregoing extreme detail with haste, and then he would continue on his way to follow Versailles.
Okay.
Versailles. How long have your people been here? How long has that wall been built?
He just he just looks at you like completely just deadpan and doesn't answer you. Still walking.
I see.
He knows quite a bit, but he's just not in the business of sharing that information in this situation.
Makes sense. Maybe I should have made a better first impression.
You made the worst one. It's just there's a lot of dead bodies and a lot to worry about, and he still hasn't decided if you can be trusted yet.
Fair.
Don't worry, one of us made a worse impression than you. It's okay. I'm not going to specify who, but
Along with this, and as you guys are kind of proceeding and pretty much get to the gate, you would see the figures of two other people, this being Clade and Severick.
As we approach, can I discern that Clade is an Inquisitor by the symbols on their armor?
They certainly look Asterian because of the color of their eyes, so that would stand out. But you can't until they're a little bit closer. Like once they arrive, sure you could, but not, not at this distance quite yet.
Would they be able to see the dog?
Would be able to see the dog. Yep.
That would be probably a pretty big clue, would it not?
It would, yeah.
He'll hail them with just a upraised arm so that they do not think that a bunch of Crahzuans are lurching out of the ash and fog, and make his way directly to them.
She'll do the same back and head towards you.
Once we're close, I assume that it would become obvious that she's an Inquisitor.
Yes.
He stops and gives like the customary curt Asterian little slight head kind of like a bow ever so slightly, and Ash be praised. An inquisitor when I have an inquiry.
As you say that, rain begins to fall.
Does it sound like
She'll give,
normal
like-
rain? Oh, sorry.
It does.
She'll give like a little nod back. What's your inquiry?
He'll turn toward his two companions now, who I assume are, pretty much within close distance at this point. The inquiry is why either of us are alive. And he sort of gestures slightly to, he gave his name as Peter, but to Perrin and himself.
That's something I would like to know too. What happened on that other side of the wall? What happened in battle?
A being appeared. There was a massive explosion. They did not appear to be Crahzuan, but I can't be sure. We have found no salvageable survivors outside of ourselves.
Odd.
More than that. This one, and he gestures to Perrin. Before the explosion, this one was talking and did not look as he does right now.
She'll give Peter a once over. Does she see? Did I roll?
Yeah, what's the roll? Is it a presence roll that the Inquisitor has to make? Perrin? Or is it instinct to see past your facade?
I would have to make the presence roll to keep the illusion going.
I see. Go ahead and do that.
But if we'll see. We'll see how it works. I'm gonna part of me wants to spend a hope to use one of my experiences to help me out, but I feel like at this point, for the sake
you
of
could just drop it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, technically, to be honest, the scene probably would have stopped.
Okay.
You guys. So
that's
this
fair.
would be a good point to drop it. Yeah.
Okay. For the sake of actually, yeah, no, we'll figure it out later. I will drop I probably will drop my illusion. So instead of the fully armored young venerator, which probably seems like an oxymoron to most Asterians, you guys would see, instead of Peter, you would see Perrin, and I guess to kind of like remind people, and also Rob, if it's okay, if I can give out one little small design change because of what just happened.
Sure.
Whereas before, there seems to have been, he still has his white hair, silvery white hair, his locks ending in these kind of like crystalline, like shards of reflective glass a little bit. And he's wearing these kind of like black and white robes, lean frame, around like 5'10", and his right arm is basically just looks like it's made out of flesh, and and his left arm seems to be more prismatic, more crystalline. Instead of this time of being pure white and being purely like, or I guess no other better way to describe it, clear, It seems to have more of a greenish tint to it.
Just wondering, are we all still like inside the wall and that blasted crevice? No
You
one else can
guys,
really see us well.
yeah, so the gate has been essentially flattened. There is a giant part of this wall that is ripped open. So you guys are effectively just partially outside of the gate where there would normally be like trade or other stuff that kind of pass through. So you're obviously within eye shot of the wall. You can see that. You can see the inside of Osterlund. But you're not inside technically. You're just outside.
Okay. Upon actually seeing you, um, she'll look you up and down, be like, intriguing. She'll give you her cloak that she was wearing before to be so you can put the hood up, you can cover yourself up a little bit. Um, and she'll call the dog back over. I believe we have some information to share. Best not here, though. All walls have ears.
Of course.
Then when the dog does come over, is there any chance I could have the dog track the person that isn't Crahzu or Darian?
What do you mean track?
Like, see if the dog could find out where they went?
Oh, the person that did the blast.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Let's see here. Let me pull up your
Do you want me to
sheet
put
real
it in
quick.
chat?
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna take a look here. Sure. Roll instinct with with advantage.
Okay, and would I be able to use an experience with that?
You may, yeah.
Finding truth?
Yeah, you spend a hope to do that.
Yep. Sorry, you said with advantage?
Yeah, because you can do a command action with your thing that gains you advantage on your next roll to track, inspect, interrogate, or analyze a target or area.
Okay. Awesome. It's more just to like find out which direction they went. And maybe find them if they're not moving fast, but
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Oh,
Oh.
so close. We're back in debt, boys.
So go ahead and mark a stress because this was a failure with fear.
The failure.
The dog.
Dang.
However, as your dog goes around and it's kind of got this like almost this contraption like built into its nose that is like just really proficient at sourcing different types of like magical energies. And so you see it kind of like rush outside the gate, like sniff around a bit, and then you notice it comes back towards the Ashen Ramparts where you guys are standing, and then it looks over towards the gap in the wall, the inside of the wall, which seems to be leading inside, and it barks.
Well then.
Not good.
Oh. Okay.
She'll kind of just call the dog to her side and be like, not good. Let's get somewhere we can talk.
Would Severick like to introduce themselves to the rest of the party as well? As we transition the spotlight over to them?
I think during this interaction, he's kind of just been hanging back and kind of just hanging off to the side, behind Clade. Not so much being a part of the conversation, kind of just, especially with the venerator being here, more so keeping tabs on the threshold, and he wants to act on it, but he can't with the current presence.
Versailles looking at you, like directly at you.
Don't do that.
It's bad
Don't
turn.
perceive me.
It's bad turn.
Where other people tend to have sort of a feeling of they're being rude and they should like look away after staring, he just basically just stares dead at you as Clade is giving up her cloak and the dog is doing all of that. He's just like looking at you and trying to figure out what you are, because you don't have an Inquisition insignia or any of the Venerator medallions or things, and you don't look like a normal line militiaman. And so he's just very curious. Basically, he's just looking at you, and you might be able to tell he's just thinking, what are you?
He'll just give you a curt nod and
He'll return it.
go back to eyeing kind of the surrounding area, scanning and seeing what he can through the dust and the such.
Roll animation.
But he very much agrees with Clade that they should go.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you guys like to go? Back inside the walls of Asterlund?
We got 3 Asterians here. I hope they know where to go.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
There's
but
a-
if we go
there's a-
inside... Oh, go ahead, Clear.
I was going to say there's a couple places you could go. I think probably the most sensible one would be going to the Sunsworn Tribunal, where you could report this to some of the upper echelon of Osterland and give them a report.
Versailles doesn't want to do that right away. You see, glory is made out of opportunities. And if you just feed the greatest houses the best opportunities while taking nothing for yourself, then you don't get glory and stories. You get footnotes.
Just wondering, does what Severick and Clade are currently doing, does that flow their mission that they were given, or are they technically doing things outside of the mission?
They're doing technically right now, as of now. You would probably be trying to get information of whether or not this is related to what your mission is.
Okay.
Do you guys
Just wanted to
remember
make
what that
sure.
is?
Yeah. Supposed to be investigating.
Yeah.
Inquiry,
She'll
even.
probably she'll probably not want to report things until she has actual details to report.
Mhm.
And she of course also wouldn't want to be in details that aren't the mission she's currently on. Disobeying orders, essentially, right?
Ooh.
I mean,
Well,
there is
Um,
precedent for shifting if needed. I mean, this is kind of a remarkable event.
yeah.
So,
well, in
I was
this
gonna
case,
ask.
what is the procedure to do if all the commanding officers on a battlefield are slain? What does your military do, Versailles?
Have more children.
I meant in the immediate action.
Promotions, advancements, opportunity. People will fill their shoes. Stories will be told.
I noticed that you're of no particular hurry to tell anyone about this gaping hole in your civilization.
That's literally all you get. He just goes, He's like, he just completely dismisses your concerns or any of your judgments. They're completely meaningless to him in the moment. He doesn't do it in a annoying, scoffy kind of like way. He just sort of just gives the verbal equivalent of a shrug, as if it doesn't matter to him at all what you think.
Fair enough.
We need to go
is there
somewhere
any
quiet.
is there any like safe houses or like places that Clade would know that they wouldn't be bothered if they went? Like a
Yes,
safe
there would
house
be.
or
There is a place you could go that the Inquisition does have a safe house. Given the circumstances, it would be kind of maybe a little ironic, but there is a large graveyard that exists called Ravenmount. These are essentially burial hills, and the Inquisition does have a safe house there.
would she know if anyone's gonna be at the safe house?
Perhaps, but it's hard. It's hard to say. People who go into safe houses typically don't go, "Hey, I'm in a safe house." They're just there. There's a good chance that it's not currently occupied. There's tons of them that exist in Asterlund and in areas. This one just seems to be the closest, given the circumstance.
Okay. I know a place, a quiet place. Follow? And she says the follow like a question, like if you care to join.
If they do any scanning around at the group as she says that, the look on Versailles' face makes it obvious that whether or not you say yes, he's going to insist that you go.
Fair enough.
Get your cursor off of me, Lev.
Wow.
Clear? No.
Severic's gonna walk up beside Clade and kind of face away from the group. Where is it do you wish to bring them?
A in-house Inquisition keeps. You must move quickly.
I was gonna extract some information from the area. See what I can find. I can meet you there.
She nods. Where did you say the safe house was? Claire?
It's a safe house in Ravenmound.
Okay.
Your
Meet
name,
in Ravenmount.
Yeah.
I'll be on the lookout for you.
I'll nod.
So, how long has everybody been with their respective militaries? Kaylin would ask as he's walking
You'll
with the
get-
rest of the group.
Get no answer from Clade.
Yeah. Versailles will look at you like you just like a fundamental misunderstanding. And We are never not in the military.
Please forgive my ignorance. I'm simply wishing to document everything that I can about both peoples involved in the conflicts. I mean no disrespect.
He'll give you that kind of little head nod actually of respect, and you'll actually see his expression soften just the most imperceptible amount. But it does.
Amazing. But thank you for your answers.
So you guys going to move in the direction of the safe house?
Yes.
Yeah, follow
Yes.
Clade. Also, I guess in response to Caleb's question, I would have also stayed quiet, but instead of just like the more stalwart kind of air that the Venerators get or that the Asterians kind of give, my silence seems to be out of discomfort.
I just want to say out of character, I feel
Is
horrible
your-
for your character, by the way.
You know what? Like, I'm gonna be so real with y'all. I feel so outnumbered in terms of like.
This is just the drag Alex campaign.
It's just the inciting incident.
I'm about to have my Mark Grayson invincible arc.
Ooh.
You lucky ducky.
Everybody's nobody's answering any questions of mine. Nobody wants to get caught lying. It's insane.
He'll if we start kind of walking, and is it a couple hours journey?
It's actually not too far. It's about 30 minutes of a walk. 30, 40.
Oh, not bad.
Oh, excellent. How does traveling work within Daggerheart?
Usually you use your feet or some sort of vehicle.
Oh my gosh, dude, I can't believe
This
it.
motherfucker. I'm using my hands.
You could use your hands too if you want.
Out of-
This might not
out
be
of
the most
spite.
effective.
While we're in transit, I'd be very, very curious what Severick does left behind
He's gonna
while
stay
we are
back.
walking.
Just as a note, Clade would turn to you. No, I forget your name. Versailles. Clade would turn over to you, Versailles, and you should go and report this at some point. Sooner the better.
Mm.
Say
At
you
some-
only survived besides one other person.
At some point, I will. You need to hear everything first.
She nods and leave it at that. We march to the safe house.
Okay. You guys move ahead. Severick kind of just like, seeing you off a little bit, but just hanging back and kind of going forward. So we'll switch the spotlight to Severick as you guys move on.
Is he with his hands?
Once they're kind of they're out of eyesight, I immediately start getting sigils and circles ready. I want to make a big area. Just due to the mass casualty of things, I want to catch as much as possible, and I have a feeling it's going to be a lot I'm going to have to weave through.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, you'd spend probably a decent amount of time, maybe 10 minutes, setting yourself up for what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Preferably, I want to create my my ritual circle about the size of the opening in the wall.
Okay. You can do that.
And once I get everything ready, I'll kneel down and try to peer into the shroud plane and see if I can trace the blast, its point of origin, as well as see if I can interact with any of the souls that had just expired from the battle to glean any information from them.
Okay. Is there any abilities that you want to use as part of your class? Or maybe even your ancestry to kind of help you go about this task.
I don't think he would knowingly be able to utilize his ancestry.
He can. Especially after the events of earlier.
I guess to be some sort of familiarity deep within. So you can call upon that. Nothing. I guess given his bound temperament, he'll try to focus in more on the aggressive sort of souls that are still lingering around the battlefield, given the warriors that have been slain.
So, as you concentrate, focus, create your essentially ritual around the gates where this activity happened, you lock in. Your eyes start to shift. This light, blue, almost crystalline look. And then you're there. And at first it feels like, color-wise and what you're stepping into, the shroud feels like a reflection of the color of your eyes. Everything's light, pleasant, but as you go deeper and deeper, it starts to morph and mutate. Bluer, almost like it's a combination of some obsidian-esque color with like a blue hue to it. You can see that the land is starting to morph, almost like it's stuck together. Like the volcano is just like almost like this smudged together painting. The walls are all stitched together by different waves and currents. It's dark here. And within it, you can see figures here. Hundreds trapped, unable to move on. And then behind you, you can feel a presence staring back at you. As you turn around, they share the same color eyes. It is good to see you again, Severick. And we'll end the session there.
Ah.
Ooh, boy.
Not a cliffhanger.
And that's why they call him Cliffhanger.
This is what I love about not knowing how anyone's characters work or their backstories and everything, because I have no fucking... I'm always so curious what you're about to do. I have
What
no
if
idea what
both?
you all really do. I still don't even know all what Caleb does. I know he can literally reverse time once a session, which is insanely cool. But I
Once per
don't know what
session.
else
Once
he
per
can do.
scene.
Per scene?
Oh boy.
Oh my
Oh,
god, so
boy.
cool.
That's
That's so cool.
Jesus
So cracked.
Christ almighty.
I mean, it's expensive though. 3 hope, man. Come on.
That is true. That is a strong limiting factor. It is. I also
In
have a
this
couple
economy of all
creeper
things,
abilities.
damn.
That's what I'm saying, man. I gotta get gas, you know.
I'm honestly really glad how most of that worked out though, because and I'm not saying this because like, oh, I'm so HXC hardcore because I would totally beat you in a fight series. I have no idea if I would. I could totally get my ass handed to me. So I'm really glad I didn't have to try like shooting Perrin to try to deactivate his magic and stuff. I'm just really glad that worked out. I did not want to have to end up in a whole fight because I have no idea which way it would go.